The Action Alliance over the weekend held their national convention. But there are people who are opposed to that convention. They say there was a convention held in October of last year, and somebody was made national chairman, and that the person who's sitting here in the studio with me was expelled at the time. Join us in welcoming Mr. Kenneth Udeze, who's the national chairman of the Action Alliance Party. Thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Udeze.
Thank you, Ms. Keller. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigerians.
All right, so let's talk about your convention and
you.
the opposition to your convention.
Yes.
We did reach out to INEC, in fairness.
Okay.
And I want to be able to read out what INEC sent. They weren't able to be with us this morning.
Okay.
But they sent us a message telling us, because what we asked the Mr. Rotimi from INEC was, in your books, who is the national chairman of the Action Alliance? And I want to be able to read exactly what he said. And Mr. Rotimi Oyekami, Rotimi Lawrence Oyekami, he says, Dear Kayla, according to our records, the Action Alliance chairman is Kenneth Udeze. There are some media reports that a certain federal high court in Oshogbo, Osun State, has recognized one Omoaje as the chairman of AA, but the commission is yet to be served. That was the statement we got from Mr. Rotimi Oyekami. So talk to us a little bit about your convention and this internal wrangling that we have going on with Mr. Omoaje.
All right, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Well, Action Alliance, as Nigerians may know, is a party that was registered in 2005 under Professor Maurice Iwu. And from 2005 to date, we have held officially 5 national conventions. The national convention that took place on Saturday, 22nd of this month, was the 5th national convention of the party. The first one took place immediately after the registration of the party in 2005. Moving forward in 2008, we held the 1st national convention in Adamasingba Stadium of Oyo State. Moving forward in 2013, we held the 2nd national convention of this party in Abuja, that saw the likes of Imagine before Tunde Anifowoshe Kelani took over. Moving forward in 2017, we held another convention, that is the 3rd convention. And in 2019, I came up, having served about 4 national chairmen as the national secretary, I came up as the national chairman in 2019. Now, what happened? Moving forward 2 years into my administration, we got a letter Sunday from INEC to say that some people wrote and said that they have suspended the national chairman. But the question is statutorily, before you talk about expulsion of a position of a national chairman of a party, there must be a notice to the commission where such meeting took place. But there's not. So we were in court for over 2 years. And at the end of the day, the court in Abuja, before Justice Enajo Enenche, ordered INEC not to recognize any other person apart from the leadership of Chief Vice Kenneth Udeze. The man you made reference to that got judgment in Oshogbo, actually the matter you are making reference to is not even a party to it. Neither Kenneth Udeze is a party. But moving forward, he challenged that decision of the court at the Court of Appeal. Yes, Mr. Omoaje. He challenged that decision of the court, High Court in Court of Appeal. And the Court of Appeal in February 2024 gave a resounding judgment and dismissed his appeal. He quickly ran to Supreme Court. Up to today, he's still in Supreme Court. But just like Mr. Oyekami said, the INEC person, I remain the authentic national chairman. Now, talking about the convention that took place on Saturday. In fact, it was a convention that has given a kind of warning signal to most political parties and other people, I call them political terrorists that do invade political parties to find how to hijack political parties. What Action Alliance did in Saturday was the 5th National Convention, and what the highlight of that particular convention is the extension of the tenure of the national chairman.
For 2 years.
For 2 years, for 24 months.
Was INEC at your national convention?
Of course INEC was there, led by the Assistant Deputy Director, Mrs. Nkechi Abo, and 2 others. They were there. And what the party did was this. Having distracted and disrupted the tenure, a statutory tenure of 4 years of this leadership, the delegates across the state came up and moved motion. And you cannot extend the tenure of a a party leadership that has come to an end without, first of all, amending the constitution of the party. So somebody, a delegate from Akwa Ibom, moved the motion to amend section 33A of the party constitution in order to accommodate the fact that some of these terms that we have lost to litigation have to be extended. Ordinarily, I have, outside my administration, we have actually lost 3 years. But in order to make sure that we put the party in the plane that it's going to be, we decided that they gave us 24 months, and it was carried, and several other motions that were moved. But at the end of the day, what we have succeeded in doing is to stop invaders from coming to disrupt activities of political parties.
Are you referring to Mr. Omoaje as an
No, not even Omoaje. As far as we are concerned, he's not even. He
said he has judgment.
Well,
he says he has judgment.
Just like what is happening in the discussion you just had recently. There's no how Federal High Court can rub shoulder with cause of appeal. It doesn't work. In the hierarchy
says he has Supreme Court judgment.
So, then has he ever produced the Supreme Court judgment? If he has, mind you, we have over 5 senior advocates of Nigeria in the commission, and they read also. These are people that dissect every judgment.
I get that, but you see, when you have a division like that in a party that, I think we're looking at the Action Alliance and thinking, okay, it's a small matter, and you're struggling with it. How will you wrestle power from APC?
No.
How will you win presidential election? And if you do get the votes of the trust of the Nigerian people, how are you going to govern when you can't put your house in order?
Actually, there is no political party in Nigeria that doesn't have 1 or 2 issues. But as far as I'm concerned, Action Alliance has been an envy of most politicians because of what we are doing and the way we are a very unique party. In 2019, when we won 10 legislative seats, 2 House of Representatives and 8 House of Assembly. Incidentally, just like what Section 68 of the 19th Constitution, 1G and Section 109 1G is trying to correct, these people, shamelessly left the party because of their so-called co-father decided to take them away from the party. So if the party has gotten what we call the financial watchers, who could have started challenging it at that time. Okay, moving forward now, within my administration, we're able to secure one local council seat in a chair in Rivers State. It's a party that is coming up. Comparatively, we have been doing a lot in Nigeria, in the Nigerian political system, to collaborate with other opposition forces to make sure that we restore power. As far as we are concerned, 2027 general election, as we are moving forward, a lot of discussion is ongoing, and we know if we get our acts together, there is no how opposition cannot do very well. As far as we are concerned.
I want to take it to Ayo. Ayo has a few questions for you. Go ahead.
I really don't envy you, Mr. Udeze. I mean, that you are having to take this on at the time. Nor do I envy any politician at this time, because there are those who would wonder how come most issues are resolved in the courts. But let me ask you this. Are you aware, or rather, is it true that another political party, the National Liberation Patriots, has formally joined the Action Alliance? Is it correct?
No, Ayo, as far as I'm concerned, there is no party known as National Liberation Patriot. We have only 19 registered political parties in Nigeria, and the party you mentioned, the organization, not a party, the organization you mentioned now does not fall within this 19 political parties. So I'm not aware of any such political organization. We have not joined, we have not merged our party with any group. Discussions are still ongoing. We are working towards getting our acts together for 2027 general election. So there's nothing like such a name. I have not come across such name as the leader of this party.
Okay, but of course you are aware that there is such a man as Omoaje, who is also claiming to be chairman of your political party. Now, how does your party resolve its internal issues? Because as you said, if it's taken 2 years to come to the point where we are, and there are still aggrieved members of your party with their own influences as well, it calls to question whether or not the stability you are talking about is sustainable.
I can tell you that the man you mentioned, his name is just a joker, because he is a state chairman. Incidentally, when he played the yeoman job he did for a certain politician in Imo State in 2019, for the mere fact that I, Chibarisa Kenneth Udeze, refused to challenge the emergence of the PDP in Imo State in 2019. As a gentleman, we had a coalition of United Political Party that was formed before the 2019 general election, where all coalition members agree that in trying to restore power from APC, that any political party whatsoever among the coalition partners that win any election in any state, we should not go and challenge as a coalition partner. And when it happened in Imo State, PDP won that election in Imo State, and certain forces wanted me as a national chairman to challenge that election. And as a gentleman, I said I will not do that. It's not part of understanding we have. So these forces now went to recruit this man you are talking about, who is the state chairman of the party in Oshu State. We brought him back. His brother Tunde Anifowoshekelani had earlier sacked him from the party. But because we need people, we brought him back. And when this issue of trying to see how to oust Chief by Sakene Udeze came up, they recruited him. And having recruited him, he came all of a sudden and started using the media that he's now the national chairman. You cannot jump from the blues to become a chairman of a party, a state chairman. We are not talking about a member of the National Executive Committee of the party. We are not even talking about the National Think Tank Committee of the party, which is what is the highest organ, highest decision-making body of the party, but a state chairman. So we know him. What he's doing, he's just playing a dirty game. But thank God that the Court of Appeal have dismissed his matter. And he's still busy in the Supreme Court waiting for the appeal he went to do in Supreme Court. And that is not even distracting us. The most important thing is that the commission, Independent National Electoral Commission, know who the authentic national chairman of the party is. We have gone past that stage. What we are doing now is how to join forces with our political allies, work towards winning election into, because as far as we are concerned, Nigerians are not comfortable with this present administration, and opposition forces are giving up together to see what we can do, particularly with respect to voter education. It's no longer a time that you use hunger and starvation to frustrate Nigerians moving forward towards election, so that when they bring 50,000 or 20,000 to voters, they will collect and vote. This time around, we are engaging in voter education, making sure that we tell Nigerians that their thumbprint is their power, and that is the only way we can use to move into Asoro by the special grace of God. Well, that is where we are today.
It's interesting that you're talking about this, and as you said, you're correct. Every political party has their issues, but it would seem like some have a way of managing it better than others. We are not unaware that the PDP, for instance, has been having its issues way before the general elections of 2023, and we saw how that division, how that divisive stance that they took willy-nilly had affected their fortunes up until this very moment. We also know that you are not unaware as well, that if things continue the way they are, and your party does not take charge of these internal wranglings, I don't even know if you'll be able to win another local government, just as you have said earlier. So how are the issues being dealt with? Those interests are important to be met, because as you know, this is a democracy. So what do you want Nigerians to understand about how these issues are being tackled by your party?
Okay, thank you, Ayo. When a political party, through the internal mechanisms, try to resolve issues among itself, yet the people who are involved don't seem to abide by the decision of the party and wish to go out to play the cards of spoilers from the outside, the best thing, that is the only time the court can come in as much as the court does not come to dictate what happens in internal affairs of political party. But it is the duty of the court to interpret the party constitution. And I believe it's based on the party constitutions that we have gotten to the stage we are today. You are correct with your analysis. But as far as we are concerned, sir, moving forward for 2027 general election, a lot is going on. We are not being distracted with all these skirmishes of litigation.
But it is instructive. My apologies, Chief Udeze. It's instructive. I wonder, Nigerians should wonder, and particularly young Nigerians who are aspiring to get to where you are and take over the reins of authority in their country, will be wondering how it is that grown men will agree through a constitution that this is how we want to be governed, or how we want to govern our affairs in this political party. And then, despite the agreement that all of them probably signed to, they still have wranglings that they have to take to courts to interpret. It's a little confusing, isn't it?
It's very unfortunate we will have this kind of characters, within the Nigerian political system, particularly we politicians. Not until we begin to respect ourselves and respect agreement and understanding, we cannot get it right. A situation where people that call themselves godfather in politics will want to use other people to make sure they cause internal wrangling in the party. We cannot allow that. And that is why under my administration, we said and we believe with my team that our duty is to strictly adhere to the constitution of the party. For the mere fact that we are here today is because we respect every dictate of the Constitution of Action Alliance. If not, I should have been somebody that must have gone down the drain. Don't forget that in this leadership, they've kept me in prison in Elisha, in Oshobo, where this Omaje you are talking about come from. When they attempted to abduct me in 2019 after the election, recall that it was on news. Channels reported it. I was abducted from Abuja to Elisha. And when people started shouting about it, when the whole thing was on news, the attempt to kill themselves and not me now was punctured, and they turned it to be a criminal matter. For 5 years, I was traveling from Abuja to Oshobo. Before it was just 3 weeks ago that I was discharged and acquitted in that matter. These are activities of political godfathers do. And that is what I want to remove from Action Alliance. I'm taking the party back to the masses that owns it. And that is why the leadership of the party, in their wisdom, said, no, if Kenneth Udeze should leave now, the Action Alliance is going down. It's better that the man that have brought us where we are under my leadership, I won 10 legislative seats. Recently, I won an election in the local government. Since the registration of this political party in 2025, by August this year, we'll be 20 years old. In existence, we are one of the big brothers. We are even senior brother to APC. When was APC registered? It's about 2 or 3 political parties that are senior brothers to Action Alliance. But because of interest of people who doesn't want to see some certain faces, they are the people causing problem in the party. But as far as we are concerned, we are moving forward now. Everything is stabilized. The convention has come and gone. And what we are doing now is the next we have to plot with other political allies to make sure that we win an election in 2027.
I mean, we're watching your party to see how things unfold.
Absolutely.
But congratulations.
Thank you, Kayla.
On the extension.
Thank you very much.
Of your tenure as national chairman.
I appreciate it.
For the next 2 years. And we're looking out to see what the Action Alliance has in store for the Nigerian people. Maybe in a few seconds, can you wrap up what it is that you're going to be doing for us as you get ready for 2027?
Yes, actually, in the next this remaining 24 months, first of all, I want to make sure that we establish an annual leadership lecture for fallen heroes in the party. Senator Suleiman Salahu, the first national chairman of this party, Alhaji Abdullahi Dogoli Gita, and one Princess Amaka Biogo, one of our House of Representative candidate that died recently. We want to set up an annual leadership lecture for them. Then secondly, we want to engage fully. In fact, if there is any resources we have in our party account, we want to use it basically now for voter education. We want to move into schools. We want to move into the market. We want to tell Nigerians the need for them not to sell their vote. And we want to push seriously with other of our colleagues to make sure that the National Assembly, in this constitutional amendment they are going through now, brings in the issue of electronic transmission of results. Let everything go digital. Let everything go electronic. So that at the end of the day, when you are voting, you are sure of what you are voting for. So we are going to partner with the CUPP, with the IPAC, with INEC, with development partners to make sure that more voter education takes place. That's the only way Nigerians can cast their vote and trust that their vote will be counted.
Thank you so much for being with us this morning, Mr. Kenneth Udeze.
Thank you.
National Chairman, according to INEC.
You are very, very correct.
According to INEC. Yes, because INEC said it.
Oh, that's what it is.
They say he is the national chairman. Whatever else has happened, we've not been served.
They cannot see anything. It's a fake judgment. It's a fake judgment.
National chairman of the Action Alliance Party. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.